Okay, so I'll start right now. So yeah, you guys can see my screen. Someone confirm
Yeah.
the note file and the programming thing, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, I'll send the link of this website on the chat. If you want to use it, do something by yourself, do it. Okay. So there are 9 things that are coming in the test. So yeah, I've written all of them down and I'll go through all of them आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बारी बारी. So yeah, can you guys hear me? कभी मेरा आवाज खराब तो नहीं हो रहा?
It's fine for
Hello?
me too.
Okay. सही है सही है. So yeah, so I'll go over all of them. And I also talked to sir about के क्या आ रहा है test में, like what will be the format. He said there will be 20 MCQs and 20 structured questions. So yeah, and I think I'm pretty sure that we have a class tomorrow with sir, a combined class with all of the coding classes, and in that he said that he's going to be explaining everything. So easy, right? And if anyone else, agar aapka koi aur dost hai doesn't understand coding, feel free to send the link of this class. Let them join. I'll teach also. All right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the first thing is data types. So yeah, now there are in programming we have um, in programming we have five data types. So yeah, namely these will be string, character, float, or this is also known as real. There's integer and there is a boolean. So yeah, so now string is basically a text. So yeah, so there are a couple of characters that make up a string. So a sentence or a word or a phrase would be a string. So yeah, a character would just be one letter or just one character. So yeah, so this can be just a speech mark or a letter or a number. So yeah, as long as it is in quotes. I will on over here. I will also write how it is. So for string example, hai, you write a equals to, and then you put the double speech marks, and then you write. Give me a second. So you write hello mate. So yeah, so this is your string, right? Also in Python, if you need to take any notes for something, so you can just at any time put a hashtag and then write something. So yeah, so I'm doing that. So for a string, it would be something like this. For a character, this would be a equals to b. So that's a character. This can also be a equals to this or this or this. Okay, all of these are characters as long as it is just one thing, right? Give me a second, guys. So yeah, then there is all right. Okay. Then there is float or real. This would be um this would be any any real number, right? Any real number or any word or any number with decimal points. सही है, so that would be your float or real. सही है, जो जहां भी ऐसा कोई सीन है will say that इसका data type is float or real. सही है, you can say either one of them. So A would be, for example, we write 4.0. So that's a float as well. 4.7, that's a float as well. So yeah, let's go with integer. We all know what integer is. Integer would be A equals to 5. So yeah, a whole number. So yeah, that would be your integer. 5, 9, 10, 40. So yeah, all that. That's your integer. Uh, whole number. So yeah. Now Boolean, we haven't done much of this, but it's basically true or false. So yeah. So it can store only values that are true or false. So um, this would be Boolean. It or okay, A equals to true. Okay, so see, it turned a bit light blue. So like that's a reserved word in Python language. So yeah, so true, or if you write false, so yeah. So this iska data type is Boolean. All right. So any questions with the data type thing? Yes, no? Hello?
No.
No.
Okay. So moving on. The next thing is typecasting. So yeah, this is basically okay. This is basically printing out the data type of the variable that you have entered. Oh wait, let's talk about variables and constants. So yeah, what is a variable? So every time I write this, right, a equals to 5. So this a value is my variable. So yeah, what is a variable? Variable is the data storage, which the place where I'm storing this specific number or a text or something. So yeah, so that will be your variable. There's another thing called constant. So yeah, you write it like this. For example, it's for writing down constant values that won't change throughout your code. So for example, pi, right, which is 3.142, all that shit. It's you write it down as 3.142, 3.142, and you state const before that, and you write underscore over there, write pi. So yeah, so this is you telling the examiner or the code itself that this value is a constant and it won't change throughout the code. Variables, however, can change throughout the code. For example, I can write a equals to 7, and now the value in a would be, um, let's check a. I'll run that code. It'll tell me it's a 7. Before, so I can just keep on changing this value. Before it was just the value 5. So yeah. Um, so that's about it. So now let's check that the typecasting. So yeah. So we have written a equals to 5. Can anyone tell me what 5.0? Okay. What's the data type of this thing? Of the variable that
Float.
yeah. Okay. So to get an output that will tell us what data type it is, you there is this function called print, and then you put a bracket on, you write type, and then you put another bracket and you write a. Say a, this will be your variable जिसकी आप पूछ रहे हैं कि कौन से वेरिएबल की डेटा टाइप सही है. When I do this, this should tell me the class is float. सही है, this is how it's going to show up. To make it more clearer, what you can do is that you can add speech marks over here and write a text before the type. So you can write the data type in a is, put that, and then close the speech marks. So yeah. So first, what this will do is that it will first print the sentence. No, why it's not working? Supposed to print the sentence first. Wait. Okay. Okay. It's basically supposed to print the sentence first, and then it will tell you the type. Give me a second. I'll. Okay. Yeah. I forgot something. Yeah. So once you write down the sentence, you're supposed to put a comma over there to separate both of them. So yeah. Uh, So when I put a comma, it will first print the sentence and then it will print the type. Right? I do this. It will say the data type in A, the variable A is class float. Right? So we can test this with other things. You can add a 7 over there. Right? Run that. It will tell me it's a class int. Right? What is int? Int is integer. Um, these are short forms for float. Float का short form Python में float ही होगा. For an integer, it will be int, right? For let's see, for a text, like you write init bruv. So ये इसको आप run करेंगे, so it will tell you it's a class string. str is the short for string in Python. So yeah. So and now let's test the character है ना उसका. So I'll put a single speech mark. I'll write just the letter C. Then I'll run it, and it will tell me it's still a string. So that's the problem with Python. That it's not a problem, but it's just that it's saving some memory or something like that when it's just considering a character as a string as well. So yeah, so that's about it. Oh wait, we're missing the boolean. If you do that, it says the data type in A is class bool. Right? So this is typecasting. It will tell you the data type that is stored in the variable. So yeah, remember this. You write print type A, right? When you write type, you're asking for the data type, and then you put another bracket in there, and then you write the name of the variable. If the name of the variable was what, say yeah, for example, so you'll write what over here, and then you run that, it'll tell you that. So yeah, this is your typecasting. That is about it. Now let's get to operators order of evaluation. So yeah, अजीब नाम है, फ्री हो रहे हैं, लेकिन it's just board mass, right? Easy stuff. All you need to know is um, you know how does board mass work. You first get rid of the brackets, then there's division, then there's multiplication, then there's addition, and then there is subtraction. So yeah, that's how it's all going to go. So if a question is saying that print the BMI of a person, right? BMI or uska let's say कि BMI का formula है height upon weight, no, weight upon height squared. सही है? So we'll do. So this is just a question. Let's do it, right? Weight equals to 80 kilos. सही है? This एक person की हम value दे रहे हैं, and उसकी height is, let's say, 2 meters, right? Tall guy. Okay. So in the BMI thing, you're going to write the formula of this, which is weight divided by the height squared. So yeah. So this should be giving me a 20, I believe. Wait, let me print that so I know what the answer is coming out to be. I'm gonna print the BMI. So that's giving me a 20. So see what I did there. This double asterisk sign, that means a power. Okay. So if you so height, if I do this, height double asterisk and then I write 2. So yeah, that will be a 2 to the power of 2, which will give me a 4 in height की value. So yeah, why I did this over here? क्योंकि the formula was weight divided by height squared for BMI, right? Um, so there are a couple of other things. If you look at the note over here, there are the brackets, just the brackets, simple thing. This is addition, this is subtraction. Subtraction is the dash sign in the keyboard. This is asterisk sign would be your this asterisk sign would be your multiplication. So yeah, this backslash, this slash, not a backslash, just a slash. this would mean your division, this double slash. Okay, what this will do is that it will remove the decimal point of any given value. So yeah, or any, any equation that we have. So yeah, so let's say for example that the weight was 69, right? You run that, it's giving you a 17.25. Now, I don't know when this will be necessary, but there are some questions where you don't need the decimal point. You just, so this, what this is doing is just removing the decimal point. It's not rounding off or anything. So yeah. So this answer over here can be 17.9 as well, but it won't round it off. It will just remove the decimal point. So over here in the formula, if I put a double slash over here, it will just give me a 17. It will remove the decimal point. Okay, that's how easy it is. So yeah, so double slash would remove the decimal point. So yeah, now this percentage sign, modulus sign, what this does is that it gives you the remainder, right? So let's try it out. Put this over here. So yeah, I'll run it. The remainder is 1. एक और example ले लेते हैं. समझो there's a 9 over here and it's being divided by, let's do a 5. Yeah, no wait, let's do 12 and a 3 over here. So this will basically mean 12 divided by 9, but it will 9 because इस formula में इधर squared हो रहा है. सही है. And it will give out the remainder, which is 3, right? 12 divided by 9, the answer would be 1 point something. And the remainder, so if you remove the decimal point and just write answer 1, so the remainder would be your 3. Um, any questions about the operators order of evaluation? This is all the operators that will come in the test, or that you'll need to know, at least for now. Questions? No? Yes, no?
बस यही आ रहा है टेस्ट में.
नहीं अभी और है. हाँ, मैं अभी इसका पूछ रहा हूँ. Also, people who just joined right now, or a while ago, if you don't understand anything, feel free to stop me. I'll explain. Okay, I'm not a teacher. I won't scold. I will teach. Okay, I'll explain. So let's move on. The fourth thing is the string functions. So let us have a string, right? We a equals to a is my variable. Put the double speech marks and write a string. So yeah, so I'll write what the dog doing, right? I write that. Now, what string functions does is that it basically it can tell you the characteristics of the string that you've entered, or it can um, capitalize some letters or something. So if you look in this note file that I've opened, इधर है एक len and then bracket में a. सही है. This would print the number of characters in this thing. So let's test it out. If I do print a, right? If I just do print a, it will print the string over there. So yeah, if I'm doing print len, len, yeah, print len a, so yeah, run that. Okay, missed a bracket over there. You guys don't do that. Okay, it will tell me 17. 17 is the number of characters. To make it more clearer, if someone is asking for you to, so the characters in this string are a total of, I don't know English, guys, please don't mind. सही है. The characters in this string are a total of 17. Okay, whatever. सही है. So this len a, right? This function len, and then this will be this a would be the name of your variable. So yeah, this will give you the length of the string, which means the number of characters that there are in the string. So if I put more spaces over here, put all that, it will add up the spaces, add up all the letters, and it will give me the total. So yeah, that's how many characters there are. Okay, understand? Um. Okay, moving on. नेक्स्ट स्ट्रिंग का चीज है. और यार अजीब लैपटॉप है. Cutting that out. So now the next thing, look at the note file over here. We have a.title. So yeah, what this is doing is that it is capitalizing every first letter in the text. So it will just look like a title on news headline or something like that, right? And the other thing over here, a.upper, it it capitalizes everything, not just the first letter, the entire thing. So yeah, so let's test it out. I'll write print a dot title. Abhi yaar, stops working. Ajeeb dot title. So yeah, run that. There is a problem. I don't know what it is. Give me a second.
The parentheses.
Yeah, wait.
Title के बाद लगाना है.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you write print title and then you just do a little bit of this, little bracket open, bracket close. Because normally what you can do is that you can type stuff in here as well. Because there are additional features which we aren't doing right now. But normally what this means is that there can be more stuff in between. We're not doing that, so you don't need to be worried about it. Just write a dot title and then you add the bracket open, bracket close, and then you do that. What the dog doing prints that with the capital letters of like every first letter of the word is capitalized. So let's do a dot upper. So yeah, this should scream out what the dog doing. All right. Any problems? Yes, no. Yes, no.
No.
Okay, another thing. He just playing. All right. What we can also do this. I don't know if it'll work, but a plus b. If I do that and run it, yeah. So what this is doing is that it'll print both of them alongside each other. So a plus b, what the dog doing? He just playing. All right. So there, notice there isn't a space over here. So yeah. So to correct that, what you can do is that you can do a, then you put a comma in here, put a double speech mark, and just add a space, right? And then you add another comma, so you know that thing is over. And then never mind, this might not work. Ignore that.
You
Sorry.
can just simply add a comma. That's gonna do it.
Add just add a space in the original thing. So yeah, what the dog doing? Say that's the space over there. Yeah.
You just remove the plus and just add a comma.
Just remove the plus. Okay, let me check that. Oh yeah, that works as well. Okay. Yeah, if you put a comma over there, that works as well. Okay. So that's it for string functions. Okay, string function is done. All right. Moving on. Escape sequences. So yeah, very fancy word, but all this means is the usage of \n and \t. So yeah, that's all that we've done so far. Okay, so look at this beautiful poetry. So yeah, bro. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, you guys can see the note file, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the text is, what if thy mistress some rich anger shows, imprison her soft hand and let her rave and feed deep, deep upon her peerless heights. Very nice literature.
Why are we doing
So
literature?
don't worry. I'm telling you it. So
Hmm.
there can be questions like this that they ask you that के write a code जिसका output ऐसे ऐसे print है सही है so there's it's पहला normal है and then एक line नीचे जाके then there's a little bit of spacing and then एक नीचे जाके and then a little bit more spacing, right? So how to do this? You basically just write print, say bracket open, put your speech marks, say copy the first line, you put this in, सही है और if सही है ये पहली लाइन हो गई अब एक लाइन नीचे कैसे जाऊं सही है there can be two methods either you write another print statement सही है like I write another print statement I'll just write um and I'll copy this line सही है paste this over here and add some spaces so it is according to the structure that has been given सही है ऐसे हो गया सही है now this is all right but it's not efficient at all सही है it's just stupid so as programmers you need to be smart and save spaces and be very memory efficient so what we're going to do is that we're going to have just one print command and we're going to do a backslash remember it's a backslash where's the backslash जो बैक स्पेस है ना आपका कीबोर्ड पर उसके नीचे बैक स्लैश है दूसरा स्लैश होता है जो शिफ्ट के सामने होता है इट्स नॉट दैट वन ओके डोंट डू दैट मिस्टेक so what I'm doing is that if I do a backslash n so yeah, I'll write over here as well a backslash n would move to the next line a backslash p would give a tad bit of spacing सही है so now I've put the backslash n, it moved one line down, and now I'll put a backslash t, थोड़ी spacing हो जाए, सही है, and then I'll paste the next line. All right, making sense, everyone? Yes, it is. Okay, next line, do the same thing, but this time I'm sure that they're asking for a little bit more spacing. We do going one line down, and then you add a T, and then you add another T, and then you copy this and feed deep, deep on our fearless eyes. So yeah, print that. Hopefully this is all right. Yeah, see, it's looks very nice, right? So
Very nice.
yeah, the T, the N is just for going downwards. The T is, I think, a short for tab. Tab is the tab button on your keyboard. So if I press it once, it gives a little bit spacing. Press it twice, keep pressing, it gives spacing. So that's how it normally works. So this is a short for that. So instead of pressing the tab, you write this. So it works all right. No worries. In class, sir gave us a question about writing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in this format or something. So we had to do something like this. So there can be questions like that. So yeah, moving on. Any questions? Yes, no. If not, I'm moving on to this thing. I'm gonna assume no questions. So yeah, new thing. Okay. New thing is ASCII related functions. So we haven't done any bit of this in the class. So yeah, lekin it's a part of the syllabus. I don't know what it is itself, but I just did a little bit of research with the help of M. Jabir Dada, and now I think I have some idea. So yeah, so basically, let's have this. So yeah, this is three. Okay, this is three different variables with three different string values, or B is a character, but they're different values. So yeah, so this over here, print, if I write print A, right, it's going to print something like this. So what के बाद एक लाइन नीचे गया है, सही है, फिर da के बाद there's a little bit of spacing, and then there's a dog, and then उसके बाद एक और नीचे जा रहा है, सही है. So this is how it is, सही है. But what if you want to print out what you have written, including this backslash n, backslash c, backslash n, सही है. You need all of that, and you don't want these things to work as they do, सही है. Don't want them to actually carry out their function. So you write print. This is another function. Print ASCII. You put the double slash, put the variable in there, सही है. And then you run this thing. It will print it with the things that you've entered in there, सही है. It will also have ये speech marks over there. It will tell you that it's a string. So yeah, another example would be, let's have, okay. So ASCII, what is ASCII? ASCII is basically, so every letter on your keyboard or every letter in the world would have an ASCII code. So yeah, it's just that some people are foreign enough to make an entire code. So a number 69 can be represented with a decimal thing, or with some, you know, a code basically. So yeah, so all these characters, WH and all that shit, all this, the micrometer का ये जो micro की unit है, and over here geeks for geeks, सही है. This thing, इसमें there are couple of Turkish letters or whatever language that is, सही है. So इसके इसके इन सब के भी वो होंगे ये ASCII codes. So yeah, so let's check how B is gonna come out. So yeah, I'll print ASCII and put a B over there, and this is the ASCII code for the micro wali sign. So yeah, get it? Yes, no, yes. So yeah, um, it's pretty much useless, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't think we've done this in class, but you should know this because it's part of the syllabus. Let's do it with C. It's giving me this. So G normally print हो जाएगा. उसके बाद E के ऊपर दो नुक्ते हैं, दूसरे E के ऊपर एक टोपी है, and all that stuff. तो उनकी जगह we have X backslash XEV backslash XEA. So yeah, so this is the code. This is how it shows up. All right. Questions? Yes, no. I'm assuming no. If yes, please say so. Okay. So I can continue on. No. Okay. Augmented operators. Okay. So what is augmented operators? It's basically this. A plus equals to 5. So yeah. Now what does this specific line mean? Right? What is this? What language is this? It is basically, um, normally you would write this A plus equals to 5 as this sentence. A equals to A plus 5. What this means is that जो A की वैल्यू है इसमें plus 5 करो, सही है. So A equals to A plus 5. The already stored value in A, add a 5 in it. सही है. This is what this line means. सही है, in short. But as computer science students, we need to be very careful about memory. Need to be very memory efficient. That's why we write this short code. सही है. Give me a second. Guys, don't read my chats, please. Okay. Uh, uh, moving on. Yeah, it's where are we? Yeah, augmented operators. So where will this come in use? Um, so let's assume a वेरिएबल है उसमें वैल्यू हमने 5 डाली है दूसरी b है उसमें we put in 6 सही है and then c is the sum of both of these so you write c equals to a plus b सही है that's how simple it is so c में a की जो वैल्यू है और b की वैल्यू है उसकी एडिशन हो जाएगी सही है this is just normal thing I'm just building up to what's coming next okay what you can do more is that you can plus की जगह you can put a minus or divide or a double slash सही है or multiplication sign question depending on the question how they're asking you to do what okay so we're doing c equals to a plus b सही है now for example for some reason in the question they are saying that जो टोटल सी मिला है आपको a plus b का जो टोटल है उसमें add an additional 16 सही है so what do we do the augmented thing augmented operators normally we would do c equals to c plus let's say they're asking you to add 420 all right we do this c equals to c plus 20 but since we are computer science students we are very cool we do this instead c plus equals to 420 and it'll only show me the answer if I print the value of c I write c like this you run it right it gives me a 431 why is it doing that yeah it should give me that okay so instead of this the question can ask say that जो आंसर मिला है सी में उसको आप करें पावर ऑफ 2 सही है so you do in that case is that okay normally we had this written सही है 420 सही है अब बोल रहे हैं कि पावर ऑफ 2 करो सही है स्क्वायर कर दो उसको या क्यूब कर दो सही है तो स्क्वायर बोल रहे हैं या क्यूब बोल रहे हैं so I'll put a 3 over here instead of this plus over here I write double asterisk signs सही है double star सही है that looks like a bad word but trust me it's not the c yeah so that what that means is that c की जो value है that is powered to 3 सही है तो 11 का क्यूब मुझे नहीं पता let's find out it's 1331 सही है other thing you can do is that you can divide the thing by 3 giving you the answer double slash say 3 देगा it will remove the decimal point see it did not round it off 3.6 I did not round it off the double slash word just remove the decimal point सही है you can put a modulus sign which is the percentage sign सही है and that will give you the remainder okay making sense everybody yes it is okay or you can also multiply it by something so yeah gives you a 33 okay yes easy stuff okay any questions yes no I'm assuming no tell me if you guys can hear me there is no trouble with looking at
Yeah,
the
we can
screen
hear
or
you.
my voice okay great
Everything's fine.
next thing conversion between data types सही है अब इसमें क्या सीन है अब for example the question okay and the next एक और next thing is input and print commands you know the print commands I told you in between um, explaining all of that there were a lot of print commands so I'm hoping that you understand how to print stuff so yeah print ka basically you write print with but it's all supposed to be lowercase so yeah Python is case sensitive which means that if you write a capital P सही है तो ये आपका वो नहीं है रिजर्व्ड वर्ड नहीं है it won't carry out the function small p yes it turned blue and it's a reserved word. It's a function in this Python language. So yeah, so don't make the mistake of putting capital letters wherever you want to. Also, this case sensitive also means that if there's a value a equals to 4, that does not equals to a capital A equals to -9. So yeah, this isn't the same thing. Right? These are two different variables. So yeah, so you can use it like that. All right. So now let's talk about the input commands. So yeah, question. Input. Um, so a question can be like input a input the name of the student and his age. So yeah, that can be a question. So you need to write a suitable variable name. I've been writing a the entire time, but for questions such as that, logical questions, you need to have logical variable names. So yeah, name. They're asking you to input the name. So how you input the name is basically you first write down the data type in which you want it to be entered in, and then you write input. So yeah, and then you put another bracket, and then that's it. So yeah. So for example, so what this will do is that it will ask the user to enter a value. So yeah, or enter your name. So if I just write print name, it should do this. So now it did run. It's just not showing anything. So they're asking me to enter stuff right now. So I'll write name is Junaid. Yeah, Junaid sir. Shit, not that. Okay, Junaid sir Junaid. Okay, and then I press enter, and then it will print it right next to that. So yeah, so this is a bit confusing. To make it more clearer or understandable, in the the brackets over here, we can do what we can do is that we can say, bro, please enter name, please, man. Okay, and then you put a colon there and a space. The colon and the space does not do anything. It just makes things a bit more understandable. So they're asking me to, bro, please enter name, please, man. So I'll write, okay, my name is Junaid Lakho. Abhi kahan gaya? Junaid Lakho. Sahi hai. And then I press enter, and then it will print the name next to it. There was an error also. I don't know. Oh, okay. See, I don't get the error. Okay, whatever. So yeah, to make it more clearer as well, you can also write the name of the student is. You close this thing, put a comma. So yeah, remember that. Put a comma over there. The name of the student is comma. So yeah, if I write Aaron, cool name. So yeah, the name of the student is Aaron. So yeah, it just printed the thing after I inputted the value of name. So yeah, so ऐसे input है ना. So note that down how to input. So yeah, you first write name, the name of the variable, then you put an equals to next to it, then you write what data type you need, and then you write input next to it, and then you add another. Don't forget this. You add another this bracket thing. So yeah, so you just keep it like that. If we don't, for example, put the bracket thing, oh, it still works, but it can give an error sometimes. So don't do that. I wouldn't recommend leaving out the brackets. So yeah, so keep it like this. So yeah, now let's take an example. There's a question जो बोल रहा है कि चलो एक value लो, सही है, ask the user to enter two values, सही है, और उसके बाद उनकी addition कर दो, सही है, तो so let's try that out. So let's have num1. So yeah, that okay. When you're writing variable names, they need to be logical. That's one thing. the other thing is that you don't start with a number. Say one num. Say don't do that. That's not a variable name. It's against the rules of writing the variable names in Python. Say just write num1. Say or you can also write underscore num underscore one. Say that works as well. You can also have underscore at the start of the variable. That also works all right. Just don't put a number in the start. Say we're writing down num underscore one or just num1 equals to. Now we first need to write down the data type. So yeah, I'm writing integer. I want the user to enter integer value into this variable. Int input. So yeah, then I put another bracket and then I write enter value number one. So yeah, I'm asking the user to enter the first value. So yeah, now I do another thing. Num2 equals to int input enter value number 2. All right. And then so yeah, so it'll ask me to enter the value twice. See, it's asking me to enter the first value. I enter for 20, and then what? Well, technically it's supposed to ask me the value of the second one. Let's try that again. Yeah, this is how it works. Now it's asking me to enter the value of the second one. Put a 69 there. So yeah, easy. So yeah, and that's it, because that's how much we've written in the code. So yeah, instead of this int over here, we can also put a float. So yeah, or a character chr. So yeah, because that's the data type that can be changed. So yeah, so num1 and num2, we've asked the person to enter values. So yeah, and then the question said that find the product of these things. So product is just means simple maths, if you know it, just means multiplication, the answer if you multiply them. So num1 into num2, you write this. So yeah, so now the product will have the value of the product of num1 and num2. Now let's print that out. Ask, just asking the, okay, I'll write the product of num1 and num2, or to write in normal human English, the product of the values entered is, do that, put a comma over there, and then end it there. Do that. Um, so what this is doing is that it will first ask me the, what values you're entering. Say it first ask me to input the values. We're adding a 69 again, 69, and we're adding a 420 again. Say yeah, the product of the values entered is 28980. Okay, yes, this is a very nice code. There can be stuff like this. There can be other codes like this, which are very important. This is how you structurize. I don't know if that's a word, but structurize your coding or your programming in Python. So yeah. Also, one thing I did not tell you is that when you just input, just when you just write down the variable name and write input and then put a bracket over there, the default data type, see, you haven't specified what data type, right? So the default data type that this computer will take is the data type of string. So yeah, str, it will take that. So yeah, that is how it is. So if I put 45 and a 50, so yeah, so the values, so this 50 and this 45 has been entered as a string. So yeah, because I did not specify int in the beginning. So if I need these to be in integers, integer wala data type, I need to specify, I need to write down int over here, and then make sure that the it finishes the brackets, complete brackets. So yeah, so this is how it is. right? Normally it would just put it as a string, right? So for example, you've done this mistake, right? Now we're coming to the last thing, conversion between data types. So here we're talking about, so the num1 and the num2 की value है ना, we, where this will come out as a string, right? Yes, it will come out as a string. So if I write 78 and a 786, Bismillah, so yeah, that is has been entered as a string. So how do we convert that string into an integer value? Because the thing is that this entered as a string 78 and 786 might be useful to you in the future. This entered as a string. So yeah, might be useful in the future. When you're writing big codes. So to convert the 78 and the 786, the values or any values that we're entering, because not right now it's entering as a string. To convert that, this is what we do. So yeah. So let's take the example again that this question is asking. There's this question that's asking you to find the quotient. What does quotient mean? It means the answer after you divide both values. So yeah, normal maths. Okay, that's what a quotient is. So I'll write a new variable, quotient equals to num1 divided by num2. So yeah, and then I'll print out the quotient. Print out the quotient. All right, the answer is, put the comma there. Don't forget the comma over there. So yeah, so now why this would not work is because these num1, the value in num1 and num2 is string value. How do you divide string values? You can't do that, right? So to convert this, what we do is that we simply write int, put a bracket there. So yeah, put a bracket there, finish that off, put a bracket there, and put a bracket there, finish that off. Now what we have is lovely. Basically, we have converted the data type. Before it was a string and now it is an integer. So quotient equals to int, and then you write the name of the variable over here, and then divided by, you write int again because you want it in that form, write num2 over here. So yeah, and
And
now test it out.
are you only going to do codes, or like are you doing definitions too? Like PowerPoints with the definitions and shit. Are you going to do those?
So do you want me to define stuff? Because you can.
I'm just asking you. Will you study them for like the test?
Oh, study.
Like them.
I haven't seen the PowerPoint, to be honest.
So
I don't know.
codes.
Yeah, I'm just doing
So
codes right
when
now.
did you start
But
this?
I'll
When
go
did
through.
you start?
I started this an hour ago, but I think I've recorded the entire thing. So if I have the recording saved, I'll share it with the people who did not catch the entire thing, or kept on leaving in between or stuff like that. So yeah. So don't worry about that. And also the thing about definitions is that I think you'll have to go through the definitions.
Because
I will go through
MCQs
them
with
myself.
definitions will be-
Yeah.
MCQs will be-
Yeah. Hello.
The MCQs we have, the 20 MCQs, there'll be definitions or ye sab cheeze, so you need to do that too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So that can come as well. So guys, what I have done is that I've taught you the coding part of all of this. So yeah. So you should also, don't think that you've covered everything. So yeah, you go through the PPT. There will be some um, things that I might have missed. I don't think I have, but I might have missed. And there can be more definitions. Read the definitions, remember them, understand them. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask me, message me. I am inactive most of the time, but if I'm active that time, I'll message right away. So yeah, or message on any coding group, and I'll tell. Okay, give me a second, guys. So, we didn't finish with this. Yeah, so you might need the definitions for it's going to be a 20-mark MCQ and 20-mark structured questions. Even the structured questions can have, define a variable or define a constant. What is a variable? You look it up, or um, go through the PowerPoint. There can be more stuff about it. So, coming back. Where were we? Yeah. So we converted the string value of these numbers, right? I'm gonna run it again. Put 786, 786. That is your Bismillah. See, it didn't work again. There's a problem with this thing. The Bismillah 111 is a Yali Madad. So yeah. So the answer is 7.081. So yeah, this is your answer. Okay, we converted. This is the conversion between data types. Converted it from a string to an integer. This is all that sir has done. I am not sure if it will work the other way or anything like that. Not sure about that, but this is how it's going to be, and that is the entire syllabus. Clap, guys. Thanks. Any questions? Any part you did not understand? Okay. So I did record this entire thing. I'm gonna send it to my coding wala class. So yeah, if anyone else wants it, message me.
Send it to ours too. Junaid, just send it to me. I'll send it. Okay.
Okay, I'll send it to you as well. I think it's gonna be a big file because it's 1 hour meeting. So I might have to email it to the classes. So
Just email
I'll
me too.
send it there. So those that have missed it can just go through it. Anyone else who is not in my coding class, or I can, what I can do is that I can send it to all the coding classes. If I can do that, I'll do that. So yeah. So that was it. Any questions? Any thing that you're worried about? Anything you did not understand? I can recap it real quick and let you guys go and finish this off. I'm gonna take that as a no. So I'm gonna stop the screen sharing now. No, wait. So, sir, kaun sa hai? Sir Gilani, right? I talked to him today. I asked him what kind of questions will there be, and he sent me this thing, www.stanfoundry.com. He said that this is the website. I don't know how to use it or where the questions will be, how everything is gonna work. But he said that you can find
I'm
sample
texting you
questions
on
over here.
WhatsApp. Can you just forward this to me? I'm texting on WhatsApp. Just forward this link to me, please.
Okay, I'll put the link. Yeah. Okay, I'll also put the link in the description. So in the chat, for those that aren't, where is everyone? Do that. Put it here. So yeah, this is the link. There will be sample questions over here. That's what he said. I don't know how to work this out or something. I have to figure it out. But he said that there will be sample questions over here, both MCQs and structured. So test them out, see if you can understand. And that's it.
Junaid,
Yeah.
you can scroll down. There's an option for programming and IT MCQs.
अच्छा एक मिनट सबर
I think we have to choose it from here.
कहाँ
उन्होंने
पर
कुछ स्पेसिफाई किया कौन सी में जाना है?
यार मुझे अभी नहीं पता अभी मैं ये नहीं कर रहा मुझे कंप्यूटर साइंस भी पढ़ना है वो मैं पढ़ूंगा figure it out yourself okay my back is hurting All right.
So just like
Also,
so
I'll,
you just send the recording, pehle, and then study your computer science at Jyoti.
yeah. Don't worry about that. I'm also sending the link of the online programming thing. Online programming Python online compiler. So if you need to do any programming, you don't need to actually install the big stuff, you know the whole softwares. You can just do it over here. Work all right. Any more questions?
I don't think
Assuming no.
that.
Okay.
So
Okay. So that's it. Was there a question? I don't think so. If there was asked, if no, that is it for today. I'll teach in the next, I think, the exams when they're gonna come or something like that. If I understand the stuff myself. Okay. That is it. You guys can leave, or I can end meeting, whatever you want. Anytime you're welcome. Everyone that loves me, I know I love you guys too. Don't worry about it. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? That's it. Allah Hafiz, guys.